Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today I prepare ramp pesto and grilled ramps. And we honor the fallen from September 11th at the 9/11 Memorial. But first, beef, poultry, and pork raised naturally. I'm out on another field trip with Tank and Phil down here in Alliance at Premium Pastured Meats. And this really is a family operation. As you can see, the Sharp family. We've got Jessica and Corbin and Lincoln and Seth. And you've got cows, pigs, chickens. I mean, this is a real menagerie out here.
It sure is. We try to keep it diverse when we're raising animals. You know, they all work together and have their place on our farm.
And this is non-GMO. This is, no hormones. I mean, you really take care in the way you raise your animals.
Right. We don't use any petroleum-based fertilizers, any petroleum-based herbicides, pesticides. You know, we try to do everything as pure as possible so we can provide the most wholesome product that we can and the highest quality product that we can.
And, you can get all these meats. A lot of them are frozen, but if you make proper arrangements, you'll get them fresh. And you have turkeys around all year or just around Thanksgiving?
They're more of a seasonal item, but we're starting to grow them more to have them all year long as well because everyone loves turkey, you know.
I love turkey, and it's the other white meat. And Jessica, you don't look like your typical farmer's wife. I mean, you really... how do you like being down here at the farm? Yeah,
I was out here this morning in my boots and cleaning up the strawberries and everything, so you caught me at a good moment, huh?
I know. And I mean, these boys, I'm sure they keep you active. As a wife here, what are your duties on the farm?
Keep it all moving and keep everybody fed, everybody in clean clothes as best we can till they go outside and come back. And I don't know, the backbone, I guess, would you say, huh? Am I in charge or are you in charge? Okay.
So Jessica is in charge. So Seth, you have some new additions to the family. There was 2 litters born?
Yeah, there was 2 litters born within the last 30 hours or so, yeah.
So how many piglets were born?
12 new piglets total, and you can see these 2 moms are kind of tag teaming it and keeping them safe. They're working on it together.
Is there a particular breed of pig that you like to raise?
We do a crossbred operation, but Berkshire is what we've been using a lot lately, so all these pigs will at least be half Berkshire this year. So, yeah.
And what makes Berkshire stand out?
It's a flavor, and they do well. They're good mothers, and they do well foraging. So out at pasture, eating grasses and things like that.
And I mean, how big do these pigs get? What, 300-400 pounds?
Right, about 325 is my target lately to send them at. So, yeah.
When we are talking au natural, we are also talking your own manure.
That's right.
Now, how does one go about collecting the manure from all your different animals?
There's a skid steer uniloader we use. Caterpillar, my buddy, actually does it for me. It comes in and scoops it up and puts it in the pile. But it's also important, like you see, they need a good carbon source for the manure to mix with and bind with so it's more stable and fertilizes the field over a longer period of time.
So you mix it with the straw?
Yeah, and then compost it. That's what we're doing now. We're actually going to be spreading that this week, so it's a busy week.
I'm sorry I missed that because I'm sure this place is going to be very fragrant. Now, is there one manure from the animals that's better than the others for fertilization?
Chicken's the best.
Chicken is?
Yep, chicken has the highest nutrients, and it also kills all any seeds that would go through it, so.
You were saying that you rotate all the fields and you keep moving your cows around?
Yeah, it's the way to do it is to rotate your cows every 24 hours or so, so they always have fresh green grass. Right now we're not set up and doing that because we're currently making hay this week, but that's the idea, and we had to get them out to pasture to get them eating the grass,
And we really, it's all this rain and that's been good for us, hasn't it?
If you turn the cows out on the pasture when it's wet, the cows will tear it up and it'll look like this, so you gotta make sure it's fit to turn them out so they can get the best grass.
You really like cooking with the turkeys. I mean, those are some big, bad turkeys.
We actually just had turkey on the menu last week.
And what difference do you see? I mean, really, you would know, they're eating this all the time. But now that you switched over to their meats and that, what is the difference that you've seen in the taste and the quality?
It's completely different from commercial. The texture is not the same. The dark meat's true dark meat. It tastes like turkey. It tastes like a turkey's supposed to taste. The chicken tastes like chicken's supposed to taste. It's completely, it's apples and oranges. It's not the same product. If you get grass-fed is definitely better, and it's better for you.
And what about you, Phil? I mean, you are just loving it down here on the farm. Oliver, it's green acres here.
Honestly, Casey, this is my happy place. Being here right now justifies everything we do at Magic Tree. Touching the animals, hanging out with the farmers, understanding firsthand the way he raises his beef and his pigs and the turkeys and the chickens. This is what Magic Tree's about. And him and I, this is a happy day for us. This is our these field trips we love. We wish we could do more of this, but smaller footprint, supporting local, healthier food, this is the way to go.
So now everybody's going to want some of your pork, beef, chicken. What's the best way to order it?
Well, you can give us a call and come out to the farm, or you can order online. We have a website, premiumpasturedmeats.com. There's a few places in Youngstown you can go. Foodie Crave online market as well, and the Lake to River online market. And of course, Magic Tree for sure. They buy a lot of chicken and beef from me and everything really with their farm to table menu. So it's great food there, and you can get a great drink too. So
exactly. I'll tell you, you guys just look for it on the menu. I love the way that you always highlight what farm and what area your food is from.
Thank you, Casey. Yeah, we love supporting these folks. They do a great job. Good stuff.
And Tank, I think we should get some chicken livers before we leave, and let's go to town on that.
Okay, I'm in.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. Hey, Phil, you were not kidding when you said you were updating this patio. I love the furniture. I love the shade. I mean, this is going to be the best place to party all summer long.
Say hello, summer. And you know what? We want people to feel like they're on vacation when they come to the Magic Tree and hang out on our patio.
I mean, this really does have a great vibe. And I love this drink menu. I mean, for summer, the mermaid water, the creamsicle martini, and then you're going to have the bands out here too.
Live music all summer long. We have our summer drink menu. Great food here, as you know. And, put on your shorts, put on your flip-flops, and come on out and hang out with us.
That's right. Hey, and you can't count on Mother Nature, but you can always count on the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Cheers!
Cheers, Casey.
Part of growing up in Youngstown is growing up with Rowley Brothers Markets. Even friends who have moved out of town come to shop and say hi when they're home for a visit.
And my family has always shopped at Rowley's, and today they are still my favorite grocery store. My recipes depend on the best ingredients, and that's why I get them at Rowley's, where you'll always find the freshest food at the best prices.
Rowley Brothers is a proud sponsor of the Casey Malone Show. The quality that customers have come to expect is true local flavor.
$5 Burger Mondays at Sadie's Place, inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown. Well, this segment has been a long time in the making. Almost daily, I drive down Raccoon Road here in Austintown by the 9/11 Memorial Park. and Pat Connolly, who the overseer of all things here at the park and really the one who got it together. Every time I run into you, you said, when are you going to come visit me? When are we going to do a show on this? So I finally made it here, and I just think, you really spurred everyone into action and got this whole park going. And why did you find that to be so important to honor the victims of 9/11?
Well, I'm asked that question a lot. Did I know anybody or have any relatives? And my answer was always the same. I knew every one of them. They were all Americans. And I figured I had to do something, At that time I felt everybody was mad, angry, you felt a lot of different things, and I just took it upon myself. I said, we're going to do something, That was the only way I could give back.
How long did it take for you to put this plan into action after September 11th?
Well, what I did for a year, I didn't talk to nobody about it. I visited about 50 communities. I knew I wanted to build a memorial. And I found out that almost every community, I'd say 99% of them had a gazebo. And they had a little memorial of some type for the war victims, policemen, firemen. And I would go and I'd ask the township trustees or whatever, how did you do it? What did it take? And, they all basically had the same story. You had to go get the community involved, funds. I found out that bricks were one way of getting some money, but the main thing was a piece of property.
Yes.
And that's where I run into a little bit of a problem. I got this land through the township by Lisa Oles. And if it wasn't for Lisa, I don't know where I would have been or where I'd have went. And when she first brought me down here, I just looked around. I mean, you were looking at just a field here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the first thing I said to myself, this is kind of big, So I'll use part of it. Well, it turned out that we used every inch, and I'm glad it ain't twice as big or we'd still be going.
Well, when you enter the park, the first thing you see are beams from the World Trade Center. Mm-hmm. I mean, and what you say they go down almost 8 more feet to secure them.
Yeah, they're down 8 feet. The iron workers did all the work for us. They took it over to their shop over there in the Borman and welded it all together and brought it over here. And
how did you acquire this?
Good question. I'll make it short. It took 2.5 years to get these. We finally went up to JFK Airport. They have 2 hangars up there that has everything from the World Trade Center in it. They're gigantic, and I was fortunate enough to get these 2.
The chapel is really lovely. I mean, this is a really nice addition. And you told me how many weddings have taken place here?
29. Not all in the chapel, but there have been 29 here. A couple went in the gazebo, but 29, we're up to 29.
And why the chapel? What made you want to erect that?
I just felt with a memorial, there had to be a place to make peace, or if you wanted to pray, that a chapel would be
for meditation, yes. And this pagoda honors those that were on Flight 93.
It's we have the names down here of each passenger that was on the plane that day. Let's Roll was supposed to be the last thing that was said by Bremer. So
and then what is in the urn?
We have soil for where Flight 93, where the plane went down. I acquired this from one of the ambassadors down there.
So you have beams from the World Trade Center, you have the soil from the field in Pennsylvania, and you also got the Pentagon.
You got stones from the Pentagon.
You are like a professional. Now, how did you go about acquiring these stones?
That's a story
brick and mortar.
This, believe it or not, this stone here weighs over 200 pounds. I know it don't look it, but it does.
Now the gazebo is shaped
pentagonal shape. Good Pentagon.
So that's really what you need. You need money and you need volunteers to keep this going.
It takes a lot to, keep the park keep it up, and we can always use donations. The rule I made here was no politics, none. I don't care if you're my brother or who you are, you mention politics, you're finished at the memorial. Because I haven't seen anything that politics hasn't ruined. I don't accept federal money, no state money, no township money, and no Mahoney County money. Because then they, from what I've seen a lot of times, then they feel like they own it, or they own part of it. And nobody owns this but the people. And that's the way it'll always be.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. You know, every personal injury case has its own unique circumstances. The best advice I can give to anybody who suffered an injury is please call a lawyer. Don't try to settle the case on your own. When you contact our office, you will talk to a lawyer. And we're not going to charge you for just walking in our door or giving us a call. In fact, we won't get a fee unless your case is successful. Personal attention is what our clients deserve. It's our #1 priority.
Hi everybody, I'm Danny, owner and operator of Catulo Prime Meats, a third-generation butcher shop that not only specializes in quality, but also in customer service and doing things in a new technological way. Chris here is our customer service manager. Chris, what do you think that we do differently than any other grocery store?
I think we personally not only offer great product, but we can offer a great customer service experience as well. We try and treat all our customers like they were family and friends, ask how their family's doing just so they can keep in touch, and give them that customer experience that they deserve.
And the nice part is we not only do that inside the store, but also on CatuloPrimeMeats.com, where you can buy a lot of our products that we carry here, whether it be grass-fed beef, organic chicken, some of our specialty burgers and bacon. Those are wonderful, and we're going to provide that same customer experience online as we do in store.
Come see us in store or online. Make your next meal one to remember.
Four for $5 till 6. Happy hour at Sadie's Place inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown.
My mom was always in my corner.
Always pushing me to do better.
I couldn't have asked for a better mother.
So when she needed assisted living,
I did my research.
Doctors, nurses,
and others with family and assisted living,
they all said,
trust the name you know.
Briarfield.
For assisted living with top healthcare experts, a caring staff, and a comfortable home-like setting,
trust the name you know.
Briarfield.
Trust the name you know, Briarfield. Proudly serving the Valley for over 20 years.
My dad, Stephen J. Kamara, opened a jewelry store in 1948. He sold high-quality jewelry at a fair price. We are keeping the family tradition alive. I'm Bob Kamara. Along with my children, Rob and Brianna, Kamara's has the largest selection of diamonds and engagement rings in our area. You can trust Kamara Jewelers to offer the best value and personal service. Kamara Jewelers, locally owned by the third-generation Kamara family and working on the fourth. Get real, get Kamara.
After the brutal and horrific winters we experience around here, one of the first signs of spring, along with crocuses, would be the ramp. I just love ramps. They grow wild. They're in a sandy soil, usually pretty moist, near a stream on hillsides, and you can see the beautiful bushy leaves, the red stem, and then the white bulb. They have a very strong onion garlic flavor and a very, very short season. And you really don't want to fight with the flavor. So I always try to find recipes that will enhance them and really showcase their wonderful flavor rather than burying them in a lot of ingredients. A lot of times they're referred to as wild leeks, but they're just good old-fashioned ramps, and they mean that spring has sprung. So I'm going to prepare a pesto and a grilled version over cheesy grits to show you how to highlight these beautiful signs of spring. For this recipe, you'll need about 20 ramps cut into 2-inch pieces, 1/2 cup of toasted walnuts, 1/2 cup of Romano cheese grated, juice and zest from 1 lemon, 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil, and salt and pepper to taste. To make make it easier to process, I cut the ramps, and I use everything because these are very, very fresh and tender. And I cut them into about 2-inch segments to make it easier to add to the food processor. So we are going to add these to the bowl of my food processor here. All right, along with that, I am going to add my toasted walnuts. Again, I like walnuts. They're more inexpensive than pine nuts. They don't have as much oil, and I just think they add a better flavor and texture, but you can add whichever one you prefer. And I'm also going to add the zest of 1 lemon. So just put it right over the bowl. Add that alongside because this really freshens up the flavor. So we have the ramps, the toasted walnuts, and the lemon zest in the bowl of the food processor, and now we'll turn it on and we'll just chop it up till it's all uniform. That looks just about right. Okay, so now the next step is adding our lemon juice and olive oil. I am going to remove this lid quickly. I'm going to scrape down the sides. Everything's down in there. Oh, smells so good. And then I am going to just squeeze the juice from the lemon in here now to join with its friends. Now the lemon juice has been added, so now we are going to turn on the machine. And while it's running, we'll drizzle in between 1/3 and 1/2 cup of olive oil. What a beautiful bright green this is. And then I'm going to add our 1/2 cup of Romano. You can also add Parmesan or whatever kind of hard, sharp cheese that you prefer. I'm making such a mess here. All right, so we'll put that on. And then just one more blend to combine it quickly. And that's it. It's done. Adjust your salt and pepper seasoning after you remove it from the bowl. So the pesto with pasta is one option. And I just got a little rigatoni noodle with the edges so it'll catch all these wonderful flavors. If you find that it isn't loose enough, always make sure you reserve just a little bit of the starchy pasta water, and that will help loosen it up. So this is option 1, pesto over pasta. Now let's get ready for option number 2. All right, so you ready for the second recipe? Cheesy grits with grilled ramps on top. So first thing we got to do is make the cheesy grits. I have 5 cups of salted water brought to a boil, and now I have 1 1/4 cup of quick cooking grits that we will add to this. Now the secret to grits is they constantly need to be stirred. Even though they're quick, it is about 5 minutes. Well, it's been about 5 minutes. And I've been stirring this for exactly 5 minutes, and now my arm is getting sore. But you can see that the grits pull away when mixed. And that is how you know that they are done. Now we're going to add 1 1/2 cups of a sharp white cheddar that has been shredded. And we'll just start mixing that. Oops, I am the messiest cook today. Until that gets incorporated. We have 4 cloves of finely minced garlic, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne, yes please, and then a 1/2 cup of 1/2 and 1/2. Look at how beautiful that's coming together. Oh, it smells so good. Now we'll just make a bed of cheesy grits on a big platter. We'll spread this evenly. While I was plating the grits, I heated my grill pan with a little bit of olive oil to get it ready for my ramps. I really like the leaf part, So I just throw the whole thing in. They wilt very quickly. We are just going to char them a little bit. So after you plate the grilled rams, just drizzle lightly with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Give it a few grinds of fresh black pepper. And this dish is ready to be served. Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. This would make a great entree, and again, a really interesting and nice side dish. Those grits are perfectly done. And I'll tell you, they are really a nice accompaniment to the nice oniony garlic flavor. And when I told my trusty beverage consultant, Phil Rita, about these dishes, he recommended the Whip. It is a beautiful white wine blend from Myriad as well, out of Livermore, California. Crisp, nice, and it really enhances these spring flavors. Just delicious. Go to my website, CaseyMaloneShow.com, for both recipes, the pesto and the cheesy grits with grilled ramps. You are going to embrace spring. It's here. Cheers. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.